Howdy folks, and welcome to this video where we're going to take a look at the Tier 8 premium tank, the Patton KR, or the Raper Patton, or the cool paint job Patton. Anyways, newest American premium medium tank, and I guess it's supposed to be a competitor of the Super Pershing, but we're gonna see if that's really the case, because the Super Pershing is pretty slow, but it's really well armored. This tank is, well, compared to the Super Pershing, it's a lot faster, but it doesn't have any armor, and it also has much better gun. It offers a different approach if you want a different crew grinder, I guess, because if you want to buy this tank just to make credits, you'll see that there's better alternatives like the Panzermutz or the CDC, and I will show you later on why. So let's take a look at this tank stats. 1450 hit points, 810 engine horsepower with a top speed of 48.3. Acceleration is pretty good on this thing, but yeah, as I said, the top speed is not really the greatest. So it's not really a good combination of not being that fast of a medium tank along with not having any armor. 101 hull armor in the front, 76 in the side, and 50 in the back. 101 turret armor in the front, 76 in the side, and 76 in the back. As you can see, the effective armor mostly in the front plate is 124, 120. Main thing is most tier 8 guns and even tier 7 and 6 guns will probably go through this tank like butter. In the turret, in the gun mantlet, 114, 116. Well, let's just say the outer side of the gun mantlet is pretty well armored. And the center of the gun mantlet isn't really armored either. Well, 181. So I guess we can all agree that the armor isn't really the greatest thing, as this tank doesn't have preferential matchmaking, meaning you're gonna see tier 9 and 10 games, and most likely you're probably gonna be cannon fodder there. And the gun part, things look a little bit better. This thing packs 10 degrees of gun depression, which comes in handy quite a lot considering the armor is not really helpful, so you can peek over those ridges. 7.41 rate of fire. It's not really that great. It's actually even worse than the Panzermutz. 192 penetration with AP ammo, 243 with APCR, and 45 with high explosive. 240 damage with AP, 240 APCR, and 320 high explosive. The accuracy of this thing is not really the greatest, 0.38 combined with 2.5 aim time. The gun handling, though, it seems kind of great. I mean, you can totally snapshot with this tank. That's not the problem. One of the biggest other problems I found, though, the shell velocity on this tank is quite terrible. It has 853 shell velocity, which is super bad. With AP ammo, and if we change to APCR ammo, it's 1021. That's as much as the Mutz or the CDC have with standard ammo. If we take a look at the ammo cost, though, 255 for 240 alpha damage, which is pretty sweet. 4,400 with APCR, and 255 again with high explosive. But I recommend you playing this tank with equipment and crew wise. Vertical stabs, optics, and gun rammer. The optics is going to go really well with the crew with the V-range skills, considering this thing has 390 V-range at tier 8, which is pretty good. So maxing out the V-range is a good idea. I got a 4-skill crew, well 5 in some cases. If you have a fresh crew, I recommend going for repairs and 6th sense first. After that, get situational awareness and recon. Get the gun handling skills, smooth run and snapshot. Of course, don't forget about the safe stowage. And when you get 3-4 skills, you can return everything and put BIA as the first skill, as you see my crew here. So before we actually get into a game with this thing, I think we should further compare it with the Mutz and the CDC to find out why this tank is not really worth it compared with those tanks. Okay, so the first thing we noticed, Patton KR, CDC, and Mutz. The Patton KR has the lowest DPM out of all these. It's pretty close to the Mutz. It also has the lowest penetration of all these three tanks, 192 compared to the 212 the CDC and the MUTs have. Same average damage, same module damage, 772 rate of fire compared to 857 and 782. The DPM isn't that much worse than the MUTs, but the MUTs has 20 extra penetration on the gun and also a lot better shell velocity. 853 on the KR, 1000 on the CDC and the MUTs. That is about as much as the KR gets with APCR ammo. Also, the aim time on the Patton KR 240, while the CDC and the MUTs have 211, 221. It has a lot better values for dispersion on the move compared with the other two tanks, but it's also a lot slower than them. The Patton KR has better terrain resistances when compared to the CDC, but they're worse when you compare them with the MUTs. I guess the KR in some way is better armor-wise compared to the CDC, as it has 101 hull armor compared to the 30 the CDC has. But it's probably going to be worse than the MUTs because the MUTs is really well angled, even though it has 90 hull armor, and it also the MUTs has better turret armor and it's also extremely angled. Not that this matters too much because both the CDC and the KR and the MUTs, depending on the tier you're playing, will get pinned fairly easily. And also, as you can see, the fire chance is higher on the KR than on both the other tanks. I just wanted to give you a heads up in case you're looking for a good money maker. Maybe the KR is not going to be the perfect choice, but if you're only looking to grind your crews on your American tanks and your medium tanks, then this thing, in my opinion at least, it's a better choice compared to the Super Pershing, which is pretty slowish and not so good of a money maker with its 170 penetration gun. I think we went through most of the aspects regarding this tank. Let's get into a replay and see what this tank can do. Here we are in Westfield, it's tier 8 game. It would probably been a better choice to showcase a tier 10 game to see what this tank can really do, but I had a really great result on this map here, and I wanted to show you how good of a money maker this thing can be, at least with the proper matchmaking, with the proper game. So I got 10 degrees of gun depression. I decided to go here up the ridge and use it, especially since a large part of my team is also coming here. I'm just gonna try to harass the enemy team as much as possible. As you can see, the speed of this thing, at least uphill, is not really that great. So I noticed, oi, those two Ohos are gonna be my bread and butter this game. It wasn't oi, I meant Oho. I try to harass them as much as I can since one of them already shot. That was a poor shot at him. I gotta watch out for the AMX. He can clip me in no time, so that is my main concern now, not the Ohos. I decided to go a bit more to the right side, since I can't really fight with the AMX and the Oho now. And I see 2 tier 6s, which is gonna be easy money. I know maybe the right thing would have been to maybe shoot the Yak Tiger first, but with this tank you kinda wanna get as much as possible from the game, so going for those tier 6s isn't necessarily the worst idea, because 192 penetration is gonna be kinda shabby. I decided to go for the Yak Tiger. I was a little bit surprised that I was penning him there. Should be a lot easier now since it's showing me his lower plate. As I said, the gun handling of this tank is not really bad. It's okay-ish in the most part. It's just the shell velocity that will probably bother you quite a lot. We're done with the Yak Tiger. I wanna kinda... I see the Yak Panzer coming over. Pretty poor choice from him. The Ohos are in the back, so I wanna find out where the AMX is and shoot him a little bit. I think he was reloading at this point. We already racked up 2,670 damage. Almost 3k now. And things are looking good for us. I definitely don't want to be derped by the Oho, because he might actually pen me. That would be really, really shameful for me. Get some more side shots into him. Normally I would have went behind them to shoot them, but there's the AMX there, so I can't risk getting clipped by him, especially now that he's reloaded. Oh, I got the side of an Oho again, but I shot too high and I bounced. Armor of that thing is really trollish. I'm pretty sure they hate me at this point. Okay, so let's go for the AMX again. Not really the best of trades, but he still lost most of his health to me. Yeah, I gotta kill the AMX first, but he's going back, so let's farm some more Ohos. The AMX is starting to run at this point, so I know it's time to kill him, but somebody gets him before me. And we still got Ohos to farm. Lucky me. Okay, the rest of our team is kinda dead here, so there's only KV85 left. I decided to go in and take some shots, because he's not gonna live too much with the Oho shooting him. I went for the D track. Unfortunately, he's not gonna stay there for long. But I still got side shots, and he manages to smack me. M46 gold. No? Sad part is I wasn't even shooting gold. But you know how them Japanese tank drivers are. You can't depend my invincible tanku. Gojira. And yes, we take a shot from the RD2. We were pretty lucky. Neither the Oho or the RD managed to pen me with those shots. This thing gets one shot of RD quite easy. Especially if it hits the engine deck. So, there's still a couple of tanks left. There's still the opportunity to get more damage out of this. I can't really be too aggressive anymore, because there's the revolver left and he's got a 390 alpha damage gun, so if he shoots me once I'm probably gonna be left with almost nothing. I'm just waiting for spots on the RD now. But the sneaky RD is gonna be a bit higher, so I actually lost focus of the RD and started going for the revolver. That was a bad snapshot. Try to blind shot there. I don't have any more spots. I kind of want to go for the Panther at this point. But I'm getting spotted. As you'll notice, it's a Hellcat, most likely with binocs, that will be spotting me from the right bush. I decided to go in this tiny place here. I got some cover, and the Hellcat is spotted. The same guy that was spotting me. Let's kill him quickly. Oh, they managed to get the kill. As you can see, the damage stepped up quite nicely. We got 6k damage so far. I want to be careful because I'm afraid of a revolver. But I decided to go for the Panther and I get a ricochet. Try to go for a blind shot. And I think that I should go now, especially since the Panther is dead. If I go, I'm probably gonna be the first one reaching them, so yeah, here we go. Unfortunately, the Panther M10 is really low HP. Not much chance of getting some more damage out of this game. Let's see how the revolver is doing. Panther is dead, and the revolver is one shot, so if I could get that too, great. Let's take a look at the results. As you can see, we managed to rack up in this game 178k, almost 179k credits, and we managed to get a nice double of 5,655 XP. Going into the more detailed report, 6,628 damage. I must have had some blind shots on the revolver. 5 kills, 1,795 base XP. We managed to block 600 damage too. I don't know how that happened. 143k profit out of this game. Remember, I was using cola, so minus 20k credits there. I didn't have to shoot any gold ammo, so only 10k for ammunition, considering we fired 40 shots. And the repairs for the vehicle were only 5,494. Well, we didn't die completely, but was pretty close. If you want a good crew grinder for your American medium tanks, the Patton KR could be your choice. If you hate playing slow tanks like the Super Pershing, for example. But if you're purely looking for a credit grinder, this thing kind of fails compared to the MUTs, the CDC, or even the FCM with the preferential matchmaking. I think we wrapped up everything. Thank you everybody for watching. Please like and subscribe if you found the video to be useful. And of course, tell me in the comments below how much I rock. How much I suck. Sorry. Until next time, boys. Goodbye.